If you ever find this recording, don't stop listening. Don't look away. Don't turn off the lights. And whatever you do, don't check behind you. Because the moment you think you're alone, that's when it steps closer. I didn't believe any of it either until the night I followed the voice that shouldn't have existed. The voice of my sister. The sister I buried 12 years ago. The night it began, the sky looked wrong. The moon was too large, too low, like it was watching the town breathe. Cold fog crawled through the cracked streets of Ridgewater, moving in slow waves like something alive. I was driving back from a late shift, exhausted, half asleep, when I heard her. Soft, clear, impossible. "Daniel, wait for me." My blood froze. My hands tightened on the wheel. That voice was exact. Even the slight lisp she had when she was 8. But she died at 8. And I was the only one who saw the body. I turned off the radio. The sound continued. "Danny, don't leave me alone." I pulled over. My breath fogged the windshield. Everything was silent except her voice, echoing faintly through the trees beside the road. I should have driven away. I should have prayed. I should have done anything except what I did next. I stepped out of the car. The forest was unnaturally still. Not even insects chirped. The air smelled like wet soil and something sour, something rotten. I followed the voice deeper, my flashlight flickering. I kept calling her name, telling myself someone was playing a sick joke. But the moment I said, "Where are you?" the woods answered. "Right here." Every tree around me whispered it at once. My flashlight went out. The ground trembled. I felt breath, cold, damp breath on the back of my neck. I didn't turn around. I ran. Branches clawed at me, roots grabbed my feet, shadows bent in impossible shapes. When I reached my car, something stood beside the driver's door. Thin, tall, wrong. Its head tilted slowly, too slowly, like bones grinding. Then it copied my sister's voice again. "Don't leave me, Danny." I jumped inside, locked the doors, started the engine with shaking hands. But before I drove away, it tapped on the window. Once, twice, 3 times. Then it smiled, and I knew it wasn't human. For days, I didn't sleep. I heard tapping on windows, footsteps in the hallway, a voice humming a song my sister used to sing. My friends thought I was losing my mind. I thought so too, until the night I heard it inside the house. Soft, wet footsteps in the kitchen. something dragging along the floor, something breathing. I grabbed the closest thing, an old wrench, and crept toward the sound. The lights flickered. The humming grew louder. When I reached the kitchen, the fridge door was open. Cold air poured out, and every shelf was empty. Every piece of food, every bottle, every container, all gone, except one, a jar sitting in the center, fogged from the cold. Something moved inside, slowly, pressing against the glass. I lifted it with trembling hands. Inside was a human tongue, small, child-sized, and carved into it were tiny letters, like someone scratched them with a pin. Danny. I vomited in the sink. The lights burst above my head. Something ran across the ceiling, a shadow, fast and unnatural. Crawling upside down like a gigantic insect, the walls groaned. The floorboards bent. The house felt like it was breathing. And then the voice spoke again. "Come to me, Danny. I'm waiting." This time, it wasn't my sister's voice. It was deeper, older, something that had worn her voice like clothing, and now it was done pretending. Something that wanted me. I ran into the night, barefoot, bleeding, desperate. And that's how I ended up at the old mill, the one abandoned since the fire 30 years ago. The one everyone said was cursed. I didn't believe in curses until I stepped inside. The temperature dropped instantly. Frost crawled across the wooden walls. My breath turned white, and then I heard dozens of voices whispering at once. Some crying, some laughing, some begging. "Let me out. It hurts. Don't look at its face. Don't smile back. Don't listen when it sounds like someone you love." The floorboards shifted beneath me, forming a path. I followed, unable to stop myself. My legs moved like they belonged to someone else. The deeper I went, the darker it became, until the blackness felt thick like water. My eyes adjusted, and I saw something in the center of the room, a circle drawn with nails and bone fragments. In the middle stood a figure, twisted, long, bent backward like its spine was broken in several places. It spoke without opening its mouth. "Come closer." I didn't. Instead, I shined my phone's light at its face. And I regret that more than anything, because it didn't have one, just stretched skin, stitched tightly where the eyes, nose, and mouth should be. But beneath the skin, something moved, something large, something breathing. The figure lifted its head. The stitched skin expanded like a balloon, something trying to push its way out. The stitches snapped, pop, 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 one by one. A mouth tore open, wide, too wide, filled with teeth that grew in spirals. It screamed. The mill shook. The walls cracked. Voices roared in my ears. And from the cracks in the floor, hands burst through, hundreds of them, grabbing my legs, my arms, my clothes, trying to pull me down into the darkness. I fought, kicked, tore myself free. The creature lunged, its body twisting in impossible angles, bones snapping loudly as it crawled toward me. I ran. It followed. Fast, too fast. I made it outside and collapsed on the ground, gasping. The mill door slammed shut on its own, then slowly opened again. A small figure stepped out. A child, wearing a dress I recognized. My sister's dress. But the child had no face, just smooth skin. Then she whispered from inside the skin, her voice muffled and distorted. "You shouldn't have run, Danny. Now it's hungry." The ground split open beneath her. Black smoke poured out, forming shapes, human shapes, faces screaming silently, mouths stretched wide. The smoke rose like a living creature, wrapping around the child until she dissolved into it. Then the smoke shaped itself into a towering figure, taller than the mill, arms too long, fingers dragging across the ground. It had no face either, but it tilted its head toward me as if studying me. Then it spoke, in my voice. "You brought me here." I felt something inside me break. I screamed and ran, but the thing followed, each step shaking the earth. It didn't walk, it slid, like its feet didn't touch the ground. Everywhere it passed, the grass turned black. Trees bent away as if trying to escape. Shadows fled from it. I made it to the road, flagged down a passing truck, and the driver, an old man, pulled me inside. I kept screaming, "Drive, drive," and he hit the gas. He asked what I was running from. I pointed behind us. He looked, and his face drained of all color. "Oh God," he whispered. "It found another one. Another one." I turned to him, demanded answers. The old man trembled as he spoke. "That thing follows grief. It follows loss. It follows the people who can't let go." He swallowed hard. "It followed me for years, took everything, my wife, my son, even my shadow." "What is it?" I shouted. He didn't answer. because something slammed onto the truck roof hard enough to dent the metal. The roof bent inward, claws scraping across it. The old man screamed and lost control. The truck flipped, metal crunched, glass shattered. Darkness swallowed me. I woke upside down, bleeding, dizzy. The old man was gone, dragged out through the windshield, leaving a long smear of blood across the pavement. I heard his voice briefly, one last scream before it was cut off. I crawled out of the truck. Every bone in my body felt broken, but the forest ahead glowed with faint light. Lanterns, dozens of them hanging from trees. I stumbled toward them and found a clearing, a circle with hundreds of people standing perfectly still, facing inward, their faces covered with stitched skin, their bodies trembling, whispering my name, Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. The earth split open in the center of the circle, and the faceless creature rose again, bigger now, stronger now, hungrier now. I followed your grief, it said in my sister's voice. Now you will follow mine. The stitched people turned toward me and began walking forward, slow, jerky, uncoordinated, like puppets pulled by invisible strings. I tried to run, but the ground turned soft beneath me like flesh, like something breathing. It pulled me down, gripping my ankles, dragging me into the center of the circle. The creature lowered its enormous head. The stitched skin over its face wriggled. A bulge moved beneath it. Then my sister's face pushed against the skin from inside, screaming silently, begging me to run even though there was no escape. I reached up, touched the skin, and 1,000 voices screamed at once. The creature opened its mouth beneath the skin, a vertical slit running from chin to chest, and inside were faces. Hundreds, all trapped, all alive, all screaming. It wanted me to join them. It wanted my voice, my memories, my shape, my grief. I don't remember what happened next. I woke up in a hospital weeks later. They said hikers found me unconscious on the old highway, covered in dirt and blood, mumbling my own name over and over. They said no one else was found. No old man, no stitched people, no mill. The forest where I ran is now just empty land. But I know the truth. I hear tapping on my window every night. 3 soft taps, the same rhythm, the same pattern. the same voice whispering, "Let me in, Danny. I don't open the window. I don't look outside, because I know what I'll see. A tall figure, too thin, too still, wearing my sister's face like a mask made of skin. And last night, it smiled again, but this time I smiled back